Good evening. We call the regular school board meeting for Acton-Agua School District to order on February 12th, 2026 at 6:30 p.m. Can I get roll call, please?
Mascon here.
Falls Draft here.
Jesus here.
Mays here.
And Brianna Taxoni here. 1C, agenda for the regular board meeting. I'll go ahead and move it in to approve the agenda. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. There are no changes to the February 12th board meeting.
Thank you. Discussion? Hearing none, call for question. All those in favor?
Mascon, aye.
Falls Draft aye.
Jesus aye.
Mays, aye.
Brianna Taxoni, aye. Public participation at board meetings. Do we have any?
Just, not in person, but Mr. Ortiz, do we have anybody online for public participation at this time? Not at this time. Thank you.
3A, closed session discussion items. We may discuss conference with labor negotiators, public employee discussion, discipline, dismissal, release, conference with legal counsel, and/or student matters. 3B, adjourn to closed session. I move to adjourn to closed session. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? Hearing none, call for the question. All those in favor?
Mascon, aye.
Falls Draft aye.
Jesus aye.
Mays, aye.
Brianna Taxoni, aye. We are adjourned to closed session at 6:32. The regular board meeting of February 12th, 2026 is reconvened at 7:30 p.m. And we will have the flag salute led by student Louis. Mr. Falsgraf, will you read the civility statement, please?
When conducting the district's business, we will strive to communicate clearly and concisely with respect for the time of others, listen objectively, carefully considering the opinions of others, understand the counterproductive effects of disruptive, demeaning, and intimidating behaviors, understand and respect district policies and procedures, and maintain a respect for the rich history of the district and the efforts of others who have served in the past.
Thank you. 5A, report of action taken in closed session. The board unanimously accepted the staff's recommendation that the employees listed will not be reelected for the 2026-2027 school year. Those employee numbers are 1111111326, 1111111303, 1111111229, 1111111293, 1111111125. 1111111265, 1111111261. 6A, spotlight. Dr. Sahakian?
Thank you, Ms. Taxoni. All right, a nice topic for the night, a spotlight recognition, especially when we're recognizing our students. The VFW Patriots Pen Essay Contest gives middle school students the opportunity each year to reflect on a patriotic theme through writing. This year's theme, how are you showing patriotism and support for your country? Our country, I should say. Inspired by wonderful responses. We're very proud of our students for their continued participation and for representing our schools so well. The Voice of Democracy contest also provides high school students a similar opportunity through a recorded essay. This year was our second year of participation by our Vasquez students. The student we recognize tonight previously participated in the Patriots Pen over at High Desert and was excited to continue with the program. And without further ado, to call up students so we could hear their winning essays is Michelle Van Nornum, High Desert Principal.
There we go. All right. So it is my honor every year for the entire time I've been principal to be able to announce the Patriot Pen winners. And I will say that the Cabrera family, their students, have proudly represented our district every single year that we have hosted it, which I'm really, really proud of. Their essays are very sincere. I'm excited for you guys to be able to hear them, and it shows. So just a little bit about the competition. So I'm introducing both, and we'll have Eileen, you'll go first, because Patriots Pen, and then Francis, you'll go second with the Voice of Democracy. So Patriots Pen, the students do a 300 to 400 word essay about this topic. And so it's how are you showing patriotism and support for our country? And for Eileen, she placed first at the post level. And so we're part of the VFW Courts Hill post. That's part of our area. And then if you're first place only, then yours goes on to the district. And so this year she also placed third in the district. And so not only are they competing against students in our area, they're also going to the district level and winning and being recognized there as well, which is pretty amazing. So, and then Francis placed first at the VFW Post for his Voice of Democracy, and they actually submit a video essay. So it's elevated for the high school level students, and then second place at the district level. So huge congratulations to both of them, and then we'll invite them up to share. They're going to be able to share with you. Eileen, come on up.
How are you showing patriotism and support for our country? Patriotism is a special bond between citizens and the place they call home, and it is shown by values, affections, and culture. Just as one shows pride in being part of a family or community, I take pride in belonging to my country. In the same way I honor and support my family, I commit myself to respect and love my nation. In some ways, I devote myself to my country is by advocating for our culture, learning about holidays, and honoring traditions. I promote the elements that define our national identity in the same way my school promotes the core values of the Medal of Honor, which are courage, commitment, integrity, sacrifice, patriotism, and citizenship. I show these values through hard work, respectful behavior, polite manners, respect for laws and traditions, and commitment to integrity. I believe that even small actions such as helping a classmate with homework or showing enthusiasm in class can leave a meaningful, lasting impact on someone's life. By expressing compassion towards others, I help bring people together and contribute to creating a safe and supportive environment for everyone. Getting to know my country was a great place to start becoming an informed citizen. My journey began at a very early age without even realizing when my family took me to visit places that are the essence of our nation. From astonishing landscapes found in national parks to historical places such as Mount Rushmore, Gettysburg, and Washington, D.C., I had the opportunity to learn firsthand about America's vast beauty and values. While visiting historical places, I saw artifacts and homes from the past, which changed my perspective and helped me appreciate the struggles people faced to lay a foundation of our nation. Sharing my knowledge and staying informed about our country is a powerful way to express patriotism. The more I know and the more I learn, the more I can do to make a positive change and help keep our country's history alive. The education I received from my parents and my school has encouraged me to foster the core values that promote principles of character, leadership, and service. And by doing so, I am showing patriotism and supporting my country to become a better place. Through the choices I make, I will show my love for the place I'm proud to call home. Thank you.
And I can tell you that's not just an essay, that's her. Everything that she said in there, we see every day on campus. And so she definitely, it was well representative of who she is. Francis, you're up.
How are you showing patriotism and support for our country? In the land of freedom and independence, there are a plethora of people who express their love for their nation. Some may express it more than others, but for me, regardless of the place I'm in, the people I talk to, the cultures I share with my family and friends, or any situation I'm in, I always have the American flag etched on the back of my mind. I always have my American pride with me to show others the excellence of this country, like in the different countries I've been to, or posting about national holidays on social media. These are the efforts I do to show patriotism for my country. In 2024, I spent 8 months living in Spain on my own, training and playing soccer at an intense level. While competing in Europe, I found myself surrounded by teammates from a wide variety of nationalities. As the only American, I stood out, but I embraced that. I engaged with different cultures, but never lost sight of my American identity. I proudly shared those stories about my country's opportunities and how it shaped who I am. Even when others disagreed, I stood firm in my beliefs and never let their opinions dim the pride I carry for the United States. Coming from a multicultural family, I've learned to respect and cherish different cultures from around the world. My dad, for example, has lived in several different countries in several continents and has worked aboard cargo ships going to the farthest corners of the globe. Because of this, he has always taught us to understand and embrace the differences that make each culture unique. Still, no matter what, I stay true to my American roots. Like my dad's ventures around the world, I've traveled to the 48 connected states and learned about American culture and history in person. Even though both of my parents are immigrants, my heart belongs to the nation where I was born and raised, the United States of America. Nowadays, social media has taken over our lives, whether you realize it or not. Social media has been such a key factor in our lives to the point where basically all politicians use it to place their agendas in our faces. With this in mind, we as citizens can use social media to share the key values of our country and show our opinions. For example, we can post on national holidays such as Veterans Day to support our veterans and our fallen soldiers. Another example could be to exercise your First Amendment rights and give your opinion on certain topics to spread the word. With these efforts, we can make this country a better and safer place for all of its residents. Patriotism is not just showing love for your country. To me, it's holding it close through any situation. It's a commitment, whether you're traveling the world or doom scrolling on social media. Whatever the case may be, I think we should all spread love, especially now more than ever. Regardless of the cultures I share with loved ones, the nationalities I share with my family, the places I go to around the world, or the troubles I may face, just know I will keep that American flag waving high and proud. Thank you.
All right, I have nothing else, like, that says it all, and I think you guys can see why he was selected. So congratulations to both of you. Sincerely, on behalf, Dr. Smith apologizes she couldn't be here, but she is definitely very appreciative and proud of you as well. So congratulations to both of you.
Thank you, Mrs. Van Ornum. Thank you, Cabrera family, once again. Thank you for your participation and dedication to our district. We appreciate you sincerely. Board, would you like a photo with the students?
No, take that away. I'm gonna have an ADHD attack. No.
Yeah, thank you for being willing to show your dedication and kind of put your patriotism in words. It's important, and I think I appreciate you talking about your families being immigrants. My grandmother was first born in the U.S., and my grandfather was second generation born in the U.S., and I've had a lot of friends that have immigrated, and one of my friends said it, and I know it's been said before by plenty of others, but it truly is the only a place that you can be from anywhere in the world, and the moment you're here, the moment you become a citizen of the U.S., that you're an American, and that's not true anywhere else in the world, so it truly is a wonderful place. Thank you for everything you said.
Okay, public speaking is very important to me because it gives you the ability, when you focus on your studies and you learn what you're supposed to learn and your behavior is appropriate and you start considering others, being able to speak in public gives you one of the most powerful tools that you can possibly have, and that is to speak for others who cannot speak, whether they're afraid to speak, they just are not verbal, they have language barriers. So the work you put into this and understanding the foundational issues are going to give you the ability to speak for others who are just typically unrepresented. Remember what I'm telling you tonight. Graduate from law school and then thank me then. Next.
I want to say congratulations to the both of you for receiving, of course, the Patriot Pen Award and for your essays and for placing in the competition. It's not a small accomplishment. Writing at that level, of course, takes discipline, thoughtfulness, and, of course, a real understanding of the topic, which you show that you have. Just keep pushing. Congratulations, and thank you for representing our district in the right way.
Again, congratulations on winning the awards, and thank you for being young students, young people that appreciate America and our flag and our country. It's very good. Thank you.
Well, everyone else kind of already said what I was going to say, but once again, great job. They were fantastic. I can't wait to see where you guys will use those skills in the future. And what I also loved about your guys' essays were that they were really relevant to young people. And that's it. Thank you.
When Dr. Sahakian said that the spotlight was the Patriot Pen, I knew it was going to be your family. You guys are no stranger to the boardroom because you're absolutely phenomenal. All of your kids are phenomenal. So congratulations on just being fantastic human beings and on raising these fantastic kids. You have done such a great job. Patriotic, well-spoken, well-written, kind individuals, all of your kids, and you and your husband as well. You guys are just a really fantastic family. I love seeing your family come into the boardroom. I love being able to celebrate you guys. It's not easy to get up in front of people and read your essay, and you guys are just awesome. So thank you very much for being here, and thank you for pushing and going the extra mile and writing year after year and putting us, on the map when it comes to that competition. So good job, and we'll see you next year. Okay, moving on, 6B, public comments, recognition, and reports.
We don't have any in-person public comments this evening. Online, Ms. Ortiz? None at this time. Thank you, Ms. Saxoni.
All right, 7A, AATA Representative. We do not have anybody in person or online. B, CSEA Representative. No report. 7C, Student Representative to the Board.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Starting off with Little Owls Learning Center, our students have been very busy working on projects celebrating Black History Month, President's Day, and today the whole campus was decorated with Valentine's Day celebration, creating a sea of red, white, and pink. Both Little Owl Center and Meadowlark have been decorating their class doors for Wellness Week. Our classes at Meadowlark have been busy as well, working on various projects surrounding the common theme of President's Day, Black History Month, and Valentine's Day. The student body and Miss Santa have been putting together an assembly celebrating Black History Month on February 19th. The 3rd and 4th graders have been completing their practice state testing to prep for the statewide testing later this school year. Moving on to High Desert, past events. The High Desert team scored their first tournament win this year at the annual dodgeball tournament. It was a fantastic event, so thank you to the students, staff, and families who participated. Thank you to the High Desert Booster Club and especially Corinne Bailey for making this event possible. The 11th annual Acton-Agua Unified School District Spelling Bee was held February 5th. Big thank you to Ms. Pardis and Ms. Santa for all your hard work making this event possible. Thank you to Mrs. Goodstein, Mrs. Klaus, and last year's winner, Paisley Kephart, for being judges this year. Congratulations to Lex Ramirez for first place, Julia Swanigan for second place, and Max Castaneda for third place. Lex Ramirez, our first place winner, will go on to compete at the LA County Spelling Bee on March 18th. So good luck to Lex. Today, our ASB and Medal of Honor Character Award winners attended a field trip to the Reagan Library. They got to hear from 2 Medal of Honor recipients and tour the museum. They're very thankful to attend each year and hear inspirational stories of courage and integrity. Thank you to Ms. Pardis and Ms. Ayers for taking the students, and thank you to all our parent chaperones. High Desert staff and students have created a lot of new clubs on campus. There is now an art club, a choir club, and a Dungeons and Dragons club. So thank you to our High Desert staff for your willingness to support our students. Upcoming events, High Desert is sending a team to the Science Olympia competition for the first time since the COVID pandemic. The event is this Saturday at Antelope Valley College and Lancaster. So thank you to Mrs. Alfred Walsh and Mr. Spielman for being this team's amazing advisors this year. From February 23rd to February 25th, 38 sixth graders are headed to the Catalina Island Marine Institute. We're super excited for our sixth graders to return from Catalina and hear all these amazing stories about the things they learned. This is the first time we're doing this since 2019. I didn't get to because I was that 2020 class, but I remember in elementary, all the sixth graders coming back from this trip and hearing how amazing and for some people even life-changing it was. Thank you to Ms. Rana Horney for her hard work in bringing this trip back for our students. Our next mental health parent workshop is Monday, February 23rd at 8:30 a.m. The topic is understanding childhood behavior. Friday, February 27th is Engineers Day. We are thankful to Mr. Bill Schneider and his team from Lockheed for presenting to our students every year. Today, the planters boxes for gardening were delivered and are amazing. Thank you to the Vasquez construction class and Mr. McKelvey for collaborating with High Desert. Regarding athletics, Tuesday, February 10th, the JV's girls soccer team had their championship game and brought home first place in their league. Since we've had JV sports at High Desert, this is the first time we've ever won league. So congrats to the JV girls soccer team, and thank you to Mr. Rivas for a great season of coaching. Earlier today at High Desert, JV boys basketball had their championship game. In the last 2 minutes of the game, the score was tied. We lost by 1 point and brought home second place in the league, so we're very proud of our team and their hard work, and thank you to our coaches, Mr. and Mrs. McWilson, for the dedication to our students. Moving on to Vasquez. January 24th, Vasquez and district students participated in the first Saturday school session of this year to recover attendance. January 26th, Vasquez student leaders attended another productive Superintendent's Advisory meeting where they continued to advocate for both Vasquez and our students across the district. January 28th, Vasquez ASB, clubs, and sports hosted the annual 8th grade roadshow for students who are anticipating to join Vasquez in the fall. Also, later that night, Vasquez staff held a very well-attended parent night for the incoming 9th graders and their families. I heard everyone especially enjoyed the campus tour. January 30th, our Visual and Performing Arts group visited the Lancaster Performing Arts Center to deepen their exposure to the performing arts. February 10th, this past Tuesday, our fantastic school counselors coordinated for students to attend a college fair at the Pasadena Convention Center. I attended, and it was so fascinating to see dozens of international schools present. That same evening, our very busy counselors held a special meeting for our 11th grade students and their families to help prepare for their senior year. This Saturday, February 14th, Vasquez Science Olympiad team will competing all day at Antelope Valley College. Unfortunately, the Vasquez and High Desert Science Olympiad teams were disconnected from each other, and the communication between the teams was not unified. When we have a smooth transition between students from one school to the other, a sense of togetherness and belonging is developed. So it's very important because we're all here for the success of the students, and the success of the students is our success. On Wednesday, February 18th, we are excited to hold our next ELAC meeting. Parents who attend bring great questions and are becoming more connected to our school community. Athletics. So winter sports have just about wrapped up, and we have a lot to celebrate. Girls soccer and boys basketball have qualified for the CIF playoffs, highlighting the very hard work and dedication of the student athletes and the coaches. Our boys basketball team captured their second league title in 2 years and followed it up with an unforgettable overtime victory in their first round of playoffs. They advance to the second round tomorrow night at Vasquez at 6:30 p.m. Girls soccer won their first playoff round today, this afternoon. I believe their second game is Saturday. I'm not sure where, when, but the details should be out. Looking forward, our spring sports have already started the end of last month and the beginning of this month. We're very excited to see where their seasons will go. This month also showcased the heart of our athletics programs. Our basketball program hosted a youth clinic for local students, and our baseball program partnered with Sierra Pony to serve our younger athletes. Both events were outstanding, well-attended, and provided our student athletes with meaningful opportunities to mentor, to lead, and to give back to our community. Thank you.
That was fantastic, as usual. Thank you. The Superintendent Report.
Thank you. This is going to be fantastic as well. Tonight, I'd like to share an update related to Goal 3 of our strategic plan, community engagement. Our district is pleased to announce the continued success of our grant-funded mental health services through the AADUSC We Care team. Thanks to their strong work and positive impact, these services have been extended through December 31st, 2026, ensuring ongoing supports for our students. The We Care team, along with our High Desert counselor, Ms. Zuli Quesada, have played a key role in providing valuable parent education opportunities. This evening, our lead We Care social worker, our LCSW, Ms. Elizabeth Ortiz, will highlight recent workshop topics and share what is planned ahead. We will also hear from a community member about the meaningful impact these sessions have had on their family. Ms. Ortiz? Thank you.
Good evening. I just want to say thank you to Dr. Sahakian because he has been a huge advocate for our mental health program. It took us a lot to get to this point where they granted the rest of our funding. It took a lot of long hours, a lot of conversations, so thank you so much. And thank you to our board who has been such huge advocates for this program. Again, my name is Elizabeth Ortiz, and I am the LCSW for the We Care program. I actually became a social worker because my dad was a Vietnam vet who passed away from Agent Orange. He served 29 years, and he was a Navy chief. So social work is dear to my heart. I started off working with military families, and then I realized mental health is not just for military, but it's across through different populations. Everybody is affected with mental health. So that's how I got started in social work, and then I got into schools. So it's an honor to work for this school district. This is my hometown. My dad loved Acton-Agua, so this is huge. Again, this is my team, my dream team. I actually have Miss Zuli Quesada here, so I would like to ask her to come up when I speak because she is a huge part of our team. I like to just say Miss Charlie Emil is our Vasquez social worker. Miss Alondra Conde is our High Desert social worker. Emma Reyes Lopez is our Meadowlark social worker. And we have two amazing interns right now. Roberto Landaverde, a USC intern. He actually was military. He served 3 tours, and he worked in the prisons, and now he decided to be a social worker. So it's an honor to be actually his supervisor and providing him that guidance with social work. And Miss Alondra De La Cruz, who is an amazing intern as well, and she has really gave a lot of light to his students at Meadowlark and to High Desert. The next slide just shows we're gonna have Kindness Week next week for our program. You know, we like to tell the kids kindness is a universal language that brightens lives, uplifts spirits, and creates a positive ripple effect. In a world where you can be anything, be kind. This is such a unique time in the world, and just, you know, with social media and everything, the kids, you know, have to get back to just that face-to-face conversation, showing that kindness in the classroom, out in recess and break, and we're trying to bring that to the classrooms. So this is gonna be huge. It's gonna be a door decorating contest, and anyone who participates in a classroom, they'll be put into a drawing. A couple of sites will get a pizza party, and the other site will get a donut party. And thank you for our PTSO. They're the ones actually helping with the donuts, and then our amazing cafeteria staff is making the pizzas. And then the next slide just shows, so Ms. Zuli is actually the one that really worked hard to make our DMH, Department of Mental Health, connections for our school district. Our past caregiver mental health workshops, and this is actually free for our school district. Zuli worked really hard to build these connections, and they come in free. They hold these amazing trainings. The past ones have been emotional well-being and stress, mental health and stigma, bullying prevention, kindness, acceptance, and inclusion, understanding depression and building resilience, grief, loss, and resilience, understanding anxiety and building resilience, suicide awareness prevention and resilience, understanding childhood behaviors and disorders. This past school year, we have already held both in English and Spanish, health, wellness, and whole child, suicide awareness prevention and resilience, bullying prevention, kindness, acceptance, and inclusion, grief, loss, and resilience, stress management, and emotional intelligence. And upcoming on the next slide, we will be having our English and Spanish for Vasquez. We're having it virtual because we felt like a lot of our parents on the Vasquez site couldn't make it, so we're doing it virtual. Understanding childhood behaviors and disorders and resiliency on April 28th. At High Desert, we're having on February 23rd, understanding childhood behaviors and disorders. March 30th, child abuse prevention and resilience. April 27th, resiliency. May 18th, mental health stigma. On our Meadowlark site, we're having the same topics, understanding childhood behaviors on February 23rd. Child abuse prevention and resiliency, March 31st. Resiliency, April 28th. Mental health stigma on May 19th. And I would like to have Zuli bring up our caregiver that's going to speak.
Okay, thank you. This was unexpected, but it's a pleasure because he hasn't missed any of the classes. So we want to welcome Mr. Gary and Louis. Yeah. Yes. So he hasn't missed any of the workshops, so he's gonna tell you more about what he has learned and.
I don't think I'm gonna make you stand here for the whole exercise. Here, this is my reason for attending this evening. I'm a grandparent from a very dysfunctional family. And as you can tell, I am 24/7, 365. Louis' caregiver, I discover I am today, more than a grandparent. So I'll let you go sit down. I don't want to embarrass you tonight. I'm going to speak off the cuff. I didn't really prepare any statement. I was glad to see that they put up the topics of the parent workshops, the caregiver workshops. I'm so far removed from Louis. We're 5 generations apart, actually, when you look at it. I'm a baby boomer. We've got, where's my Generation X? Right there, there's Generation X. There's Generation Y. Where's Miss Alondra? Oh, you're Gen Z. And Louis Gen A, okay? So I have a huge difference. So when I grew up, got to high school, I did my math in a slide rule. Well, things have changed a little bit. My stepfather, who was a B-17 machine gunner in Germany, when he got back from the war, during the Kennedy space project, he actually bought a calculator for about $375 and $65, okay, 1965, that did 4 functions. So you could do that on your watch now. So I've lived through cash, checks, credit cards, and now we have tap and go and just air, Bitcoin, cell phone, Apple Pay. So it's a lot of steps, right? And now Louis is engrossed in Nintendo. He has no phone, by the way. And he's one of 2 students in your class that doesn't have a phone? Okay. I'm not real. I told him, I said, when you start to drive and you need navigation, you get a phone. So I think I'll give you a little bit more background, and then I want to talk about the workshops. Like I said, I came from a very dysfunctional family, but like a lot of other people, I suspect, family of divorce. So I was a child of divorce. I'm also divorced, okay? My ex-wife has since passed away from drug and alcohol abuse. So let's talk a little bit about the workshops themselves. I decided that I needed help. I'm the kind of guy who would go to stop at the gas station and ask for help if I needed directions. Right now I've got the cell phone. It's a little bit more, but when it came to raising Louis, I needed help. And I thought, when I saw these workshops offered, this is a good idea. Now, I originally thought that they were stress-related. How do I help Louis handle stress? What kind of stress does Louis have as a student, as a young man? That's what I originally thought they were. But after I'd attended these workshops, I began to realize that these workshops weren't for Louis. They were for me. And so we talked about all these different topics as we went through. Ken, you attended one with me, didn't you?
You passed security, so I left.
Say again?
You passed security, so I left.
Pass security. Yeah, I can pass the fingerprint. I can still pass the fingerprint check and the background check too, just from the fact that I was a smooth criminal and never got caught. That's the only. Yeah. Okay. Look, you saw the topics. I was glad she put them up there. I have a cheat note in my pocket, which I probably don't need. But they talked about stress. How does a parent handle the stress? Well, I shouldn't have any stress, right? I'm 73. I've made it through life, except you have health problems. You have car problems. You have money problems. stuff breaks at the house. He gets phone calls, but no, wait a second. I got 2 sets of phone calls last week. Louis got lunch detention twice. Yeah, there you go. Goofy stuff, right? Just not really, okay? We've had some problems. We are slowly but surely resolving some of them. This year's been tough because he's 7th grade, he's 11, he's a little bit younger than his peers because I pushed him through homeschool, okay? I was a teacher, my mother was a teacher, my daughter's a teacher. My grandmother taught in a K-12 school. She was the teacher, K-12, okay? One-room schoolhouse, the Sawyer School in Willits, California. So, by the way, the family came to California in 1835 by covered wagon, no trains. So I got to thinking about how much stress we all face. And I don't need to make people raise their hands when I say money stress, partner stress, ex-wife stress, whether it's the car breaks down and you don't know how you're going to get to work. We all have stress every single day, so how do we handle it? And the girls said, don't drink too much, don't use drugs. And I said, you know, I'm sorry, but there are occasionally when I get to Friday and I survived, I'm going to sit down and have a cocktail, okay? It's going to relieve the stress. But I went through and I looked at the topics, and my goal was to take away one good idea. Every time I went to one of these workshops, just give me one good idea that I can help improve my life and Louis' life and better prepare me to raise a child not exactly what I expected to be doing in my 70s, but it is what I'm doing, and it's a very worthwhile activity, okay? I mean, I had thought about, and I had funded a pretty good retirement to go hunting, fishing, traveling, and here I am in Acton, hanging out, and I'm teaching. This week we taught, I guess you'd call it geometry, right? We do geometry at home this week. Shall I give you an example of what I took away? Some of the sentences, right? We talked about suicide and suicide prevention. And the one word I took away from our workshop was listen. You really need to listen. How did this affect me personally? 1990. It's been a while. My nephew Ricky, we do not know why he was upset. He did not leave a note. He took his stepfather's revolver out of his safety box. His stepfather was is an LA County sheriff. He's retired now. He's an LA County sheriff. Ricky took the gun out, walked down to the end of the block, and shot himself in the head. So suicide affected our family greatly. We were dysfunctional for a long time. You can't imagine what it's like to have a family member that close. This is my brother's son, commits suicide. I went to the funeral. There were 350 students there from his high school, crying girls. And we could never figure out what the problem was. He was a JV lineman, good-looking kid. So I was touched by that. So I would say to you, if I were going to recommend that the budget for the wellness program be included in the board, it would be the idea that what price do you put on one life? And if he would have had a person to talk to where he felt safe, where he could walk into an office, non-judgmental, privacy protected by HIPAA, not in the family, I don't know if it would have made a difference. I'd like to think so, okay? So not just my life, but the family around me. So let's talk about another one of the workshops. So they gave me drug prevention. Now, I grew up with cheap Mexican ragweed. We had diazepines like Tuinal, Seconal, phenobarbital, and you had uppers, reds, whites, a few things. Things have changed, okay? We now have carfentanil, xylazine, nitazene, regular fentanyl, which isn't as strong as some of the other drugs. Got all these things to worry about. I took away from that meeting about drugs, one pill can kill. You follow me? Anybody else have life affected by fentanyl? Anyone? You don't have to admit it if you do. So I have very close friends, very small, tight, a few close friends. Like a lot of people my age, a lot of friends have passed. But I look at a really close friend, Paul, who lives in Tucson, and he and his wife had no kids of their own and decided to adopt 3 siblings. Very good thing to do. 3 kids, okay? I tried to convince him, Paul, you need to have counseling. You should talk to a psychologist. These kids are gonna have attachment disorder. And he chose not to, okay? They went another route. They pray a lot. They said church and Jesus will do it. Well, I have to look at the results. I'm an existentialist, I don't live in an ideal world. I like to look at let's look at actions and results. It was really sad to see his youngest daughter, still a teenager, she was the getaway driver in an armed robbery, so she served prison time. The middle son was going to straighten out his life, and he joined the Navy. But after his training cruise, he went AWOL, he deserted, he took a dishonorable discharge. Their oldest daughter was offered the chance to make $2,000 to make a trip to Nogales. So she made the trip. She was caught at the border, coming back with bags full of fentanyl tablets, and she served 4 months at the women's prison in Florence, Arizona. When she got out of prison, she was clean and sober. 1 pill can kill. Okay? She took that 1 pill and it killed her. So these were really close personal friends who I saw have this huge family disaster, and I have to wonder, okay, would counseling have helped? Would attachment disorder and the results of that, could they have talked about that in a therapeutic setting? And would it have saved one of them? Could it have just changed the trajectory of their lives? So that's what I see, and I could go on. I'm going to quit, okay? I can go on, and I could make a personal attachment to every single one of these. I would say this. The last workshop I attended was about intellectual control over your emotions, okay? And I have had excellent control over my emotions through most of my life, okay? Get a little mad at Louis once in a while, and sometimes I use the mama dog voice when I need to bark at him, but I try not to get mad at him for real, okay? Sometimes you have to act mad with your children just to get them to do what you want. And I know it's acting, I know it's not real, and I'm not giving away my secrets because I can still bark when I need to, right? He knows that I love him. I tell him every single day. But I also, let me just say parenthetically, I joined the LCAP recently and went to a meeting. I want to thank you, Paula. I've had a chance to take a look at that document, 40 pages of hard work, 32 pages of instructions, 9 pages of tables. And I want to apologize to Dr. Sahakian. I'm not sure that document I gave you was completely correct because some of it was generated by AI, and the numbers that I got for this school district as far as money goes, because everything is money. Let's face it, everything is money. It's a deal, it's a negotiation. In order to pay these wonderful women in your infinite wisdom, you have to cut. There's no extra money in this budget. It has to come from somewhere. So we've been fortunate that we've had the DOE and the DOJ provide money to get this program going. I would like to see it continued here in this district, okay, for this reason. If we can change the trajectory, we may not see the results, we may never see the results, but if we can change the trajectory of just a handful of students, we've affected their lives, their families' lives, their friends' lives. We see them become productive adults, and maybe they help other people. They look back fondly. When I got in trouble, I went and sat in Ms. Alondra's office for an hour, and she listened to me, and she gave me some good advice, we hope. So I would finish with the fact that, look, I can go through this, I can talk to you longer, but I don't want to waste any more of your time this evening, and I want to thank you for giving me the opportunity to address the board and to support this wonderful group. Do you have any questions for me? I'd love to answer a few questions if you have them. Ken?
No, I questioned you at the very beginning. You passed the test.
Did I win the high school debate contest?
No, I did, but you came in a strong second.
Strong second.
I would
It's
like,
an inside joke, by the way.
I would like to thank you for coming in. I think I'll speak for the board on this, that we were very, very upset to see that the funding was potentially going to go away on this, and we had prepared multiple ways to continue in light of the funding being gone, because we
I have some
truly did
questions
see
for
the
you,
value.
Okay, you guys think about educational, have a great educational perspective, and I'm new to the game. Okay, I've been a homeschool teacher for Louis. I taught college. But what I noticed was a lack of parent engagement. And I don't think my experiences with drugs, alcohol, suicide, stress, emotional control are unique. All of us have these problems. And I have invited other parents to attend these workshops, and I have gotten a few other parents to come and attend. They don't usually stick with it. I understand that the girl said there's a stigma associated with mental wellness. How do you get parents to engage? I mean, even if we got, look, 1 in 6 of the population of the United States is currently on some type of mood enhancer, tranquilizer, antidepressant. 1 in 6. How do we get that 1 in 6 that instead of using a drug to feel better can come to a group therapy session? Or just an hour a month, come talk about your problems. We'll individualize the problem. We'll bring some suggestions. But that's what I saw was missing. And I've asked them several times. They're tired of me asking how to get better parent engagement. I know that the kids are engaged. I'll finish with this. I'll be done. Debate's over. I asked Louis tonight before we came. Louis, so they gave 4 bullying seminars to the kids last year, okay? And they switched, and they got a drug, and they got a relationship seminar recently, right? Got a relationship seminar. I said, Louis, so have you noticed that there's less bullying this year? And Louis says, I hadn't even thought about it, Grandpa. What's that tell you? bullying is down because he doesn't even notice it anymore. So there's your result right there. And he's a little bit smaller than some of his peers, and he wears those glasses. They make fun of him once in a while. But you don't get bullied, do you? Anyway, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clevenger. Thank you, Ms. Ortiz. Thank you, Ms. Quesada, for all that you do. We appreciate you sincerely. And thank you, Louis, for being here with us this evening. Appreciate you.
I will answer all of your questions at the end with something very impressive. But he's got to stay up late now.
Tomorrow's a holiday.
In what world?
Yeah, he doesn't have school tomorrow. And gentlemen, I retired at a young age. I'm good.
Okay.
Want me to hang out?
You want to borrow my mirror? Let's go. Let's roll.
My hearing is blown. What
That's
was that?
good.
Repeat that, kid.
Someone had my microphone stuffed with something.
Stuff with some.
Okay, let's go.
Yes, thank you.
Board, do you want to loop for comments on the presentation?
I would like to, yes. So I think these workshops are amazing that you're hosting them. I mean, I think it's a great value for the community. And it's nice to see someone that be able to express the value they gain from actually attending them. So I think it's a greatly overlooked topic. Bad behavior is often misdiagnosed as just kids being bad when there's often something else going on. So I'm a huge proponent of it, and I think it absolutely needs to continue. So thank you for everything you're doing. And it's, as you said, you may never know the help that you actually provided and what the result will be in the future. And how you, yeah.
You'll see it at the end of the meeting. I'm telling you.
No, I still can't hear you. My
That's
ears
okay.
are shot out. Too much artillery.
He said thank you for coming.
Oh, can we leave now? Sorry. You see, I can tell. Get out.
I've got something at the end, seriously, that will ultimately blow your mind. I'm going to show you the effect of one person going out into the world, not just this town, the world. So hang out, you'll want to see this, George.
Thank you for sharing. I think that mental health, of course, is very important. I work in mental health myself. But there's two things that you said that kind of resonated with me. And one, when you referred to that student, you could save that one student, I was thinking back when I used to teach the boot camp class for the LAPD, for the at-risk youths. And someone would always ask me, is it worth the money? Is it worth the time?
You're law enforcement.
Yes. So they would say, is it worth the time? And I said, if I can prevent one kid from committing a murder or one kid from being locked up, yes, it is. So that kind of resonated with me when you said that. What also resonated is when you talked about listen. And a lot of times we teach our officers in our de-escalation tactics is to listen, to understand, and not listen to just reply. So they just kind of struck a nerve with me. But thank you for everything that you shared today, and thank you for our staff that are out there every day trying to help our students.
Well, I had more, but I didn't want to bore you to death.
Thank you.
I got enough.
Yeah, thank you for your passion and being able here to presenting to us. You're a very good presenter,
I
too.
had no idea what I was going to say when I walked in here.
Louis, you're lucky to have a grandpa like this. Thank you.
Ms. Ortiz and your team, where are you? Thank you so much for all you do. I've been on our campuses and I've been in our town when things didn't go well. And then I've also been here when kids were having struggles and were able to talk to somebody. And I think, I shouldn't say I think, I know that you and your team are absolutely changing lives, changing the trajectory, keeping students safe, helping them find their way, and really, really making a difference in our entire community. So thank you and your team for everything that you do. Thank you for all you do and just really giving your heart and soul into our students and our families. And again, thank you for being here. Louis, thank you for being here. My favorite is when students come to our board meetings, and I'll say it every time. I love seeing students sitting in our board meetings. I know you're probably so bored, but I really, really appreciate you being here. So thank you very much for taking your whole Thursday night, Friday night to come and hang out with us and enjoy your 4-day weekend. So we will go ahead and move on to 7E, Facilities Finance Subcommittee Report.
Facilities and Finance has not had a meeting since our last meeting, and we will be meeting on the 23rd at 4 p.m.
Okay. F, Education Subcommittee Report. We also have not had a meeting. We will be meeting February 26th at 4 o'clock. George, do you have anything to add to that?
No.
Okay. G, Policy and Management Subcommittee Report.
So we did not have a meeting this past couple of weeks. Our next meeting is on the 26th at 5 o'clock. So please join us.
All right, and 7H, Submissions.
Yes, we were scheduled to actually receive a method charter petition for renewal this evening. However, their renewal is not up until 26-27 school year, so they decided to push it to the 26-27 school year. So no submissions tonight.
Thank you. 8A, Approval of Consent Calendar Items 8B through 8K. I'll go ahead and move it in. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Bill? Dr. Sahakian?
If there are any items from the consent calendar, I'm happy to provide any explanation or clarity to the board.
Board, is there any questions or anything that we need to pull from the consent calendar? Hearing none, we'll go ahead and vote on consent calendar items B through K.
Mask on aye.
Falls Graph, aye.
De Souza.
Mays, aye.
Brianna Taxoni, aye. Okay, 9A, Personnel Report. I'll go ahead and move it in.
Thank you. No changes to the PAR report for February 12th. Thank you.
All right, so I should have read 2025-26.09, Personnel Report. Discussion? Hearing none, call for question. All those in favor?
Mask on aye.
Falls Graph, aye.
De Souza.
Mays, aye.
Brianna Taxoni, aye. B, approval tentative agreement between California School Employees Association, Chapter 473 and Acton-Agua Unified School District. I'll go ahead and move it in. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. For items 9B as in boy through E as in Eric, I'm going to call up Ms. Erdrich, our HR director, as well as our lead negotiator to provide some information to our community and to our board. Ms. Erdrich.
Good evening, thank you. So for item B, the tentative agreement with CSEA and our school district, Article 5, transportation, it was just clearing up language as far as duties and makeup time. And also we added grad night to the charter buses. For Article 6, salaries, we did the 3% on schedule, 3% off schedule. And we added 2 discretionary holidays. For Article 7, employee benefits, we added a $1,000 district contribution towards benefits. For leaves, we added bereavement leave to include pregnancy loss and miscarriages. And hospice leave, employees shall be granted up to 5 days for hospice care of any immediate family member. For Article 17, security, that is a brand new article that was just added, and that is just the process for if we need extra security, for example, at a game on the weekends or an evening. First, it should go through the campus security officers, and if not, then through other classified employees. If no one is willing to take that position on, then we can use an outside vendor. And then Article 18, its conclusion, there's nothing different. It's just that it got moved down because of the security article from 17 to 18.
Thank you. Discussion? Hearing none, call for question. All those in favor?
Mascon, aye.
Falls Graph, aye.
De Souza, aye.
Mays, aye.
Brianna Taxoni, aye. 9C, approval resolution 2025-26.10, non-reelection of probationary certificated employees. I'll move it in. George, second. Dr. Sahakian?
Those are the non-reelects that were discussed in closed session, so this is just the resolution for them.
Thank you. Discussion? Hearing none, call for question. All those in favor?
Mascon, aye.
Falls Graph, aye.
De Souza, aye.
Mays, aye.
Brianna Taxoni, aye. 9D, initial proposal of CSEA and chapter of the CSEA and Chapter 473 to AAD-USD for the 2026-27 reopener negotiations. I'll move it in.
I'll second.
So this is the reopener for the next school year, and CSEA is sunshining us, and the following areas will be discussed: duty hours, salary, employee benefits, and leaves.
Thank you. Discussion? Hearing none, call for question.
Mascon, aye.
Falls Graph, aye.
De Souza, aye.
Mays, aye.
Brianna Taxoni, aye. And 9E, initial proposal of the AAD-USD to CSEA Chapter 473 for the 2026-2027 reopener negotiations. I'll move it in.
I'll second.
So this is our part of sunshining, and what we listed is salary and benefits.
Okay, discussion? Hearing none, call for question.
Mascon, aye.
Falls Graph, aye.
De Souza, aye.
Mays, aye.
Brianna Taxoni, aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. 10A, presentation local control accountability plan mid-year LCAP update. Dr. Sahakian?
Thank you, Ms. Taxoni. As we know, the district's LCAP serves as our roadmap of goals and actions for improving student outcomes. The mid-year report is important as a checkpoint as far as our progress, as far as the goals and the actions and progress being made. And Dr. Chamberlain will be presenting this evening to our board. Dr. Chamberlain.
Thank you, Dr. Sahakian. Good evening, board. Here to present the mid-year LCAP update, and we can go on to the next slide. The purpose of this is that annually in February we are to present the mid-year report just to give you an update, board, as to where we are in the process. And so on the next slide, we have goal number 1, and goal number 1 is based on academics and supporting all students in achievement. We have our metrics updates, which we've discussed at previous meetings. Currently, we're in yellow, and our goal is green. Math is orange, and the goal is yellow. And our progress for our EL students is 65%. Our goal is 70. Our planned expenditures were $6,158,887. Our total expenditures through January 31st were $3,202,621. For goal number 2, which is focused on having students in school every day in physical and cognitive environments that are safe and caring, clean. Our metrics for that are chronic absenteeism, which is currently at 27%. Our goal is 17%. Our suspension rate is currently at 2.7. Our goal is 0, and our graduation rate is currently at 100%, and our goal is 100%. And our total expenditures planned were $2,030,000. Our total expenditures through January 31st were $1,055,600. For goal number 3 is to retain and recruit quality employees. We do that through our HR department and through supporting our staff. Currently, we have 66% of our teachers on clear credentials. We do have a number of intern credentials that are in our new internship program. Our goal is to have, and we have 0 teacher misassignments, which that is our goal. Our expenditure update on that is total planned expenditures are $1,005,000. To date, we have spent $522,600. And our final goal is parents and guardians feeling welcomed at our sites and having sufficient two-way communication. We don't have an update this time as for LCAP as far as our surveys, because they go out in February and March. So we'll have that information soon. Our total planned expenditures is $165,000. To date, we have spent $85,800. And that concludes our update. Are there any questions?
No, but thank you for presenting that. And again, if anybody has questions about what we're trying to accomplish here, the LCAP is a great document to go back and reference, and there's a lot of hard work in it and a lot of good information. If you have questions, it's a great place to start.
Dr. Chamberlain, in all my time on the board, this is probably the first time that someone has said, we want to do this, and this is a direct tie to the money we're going to spend to do it. That's the purpose of this whole exercise. The document is this thick. There's so much effort that goes into dealing with the shareholders, the stakeholders, all of that. So yeah, I appreciate this. This is a commitment. Here's what we want to do. Here's the numbers, and here's the money. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I have no questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you.
Much appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, 10B, first read comprehensive school safety plan 2025-26 school year. Dr. Sahakian?
Thank you. For items 10B and C, they primarily cover, the comprehensive safety plan covers policies, activities and action items as far as protocol for child abuse reporting, our discipline procedures. It also covers emergency preparedness and our response, be it at the district office, which will be item 10B, and emergency response at the school sites will be item 10C for each individual school site. They have that outlined, and their incident command, as well as that procedure for incident command and who covers that, along with the responsibilities of each team lead, be it the search and rescue, the reunification gate. All of that is outlined within these plans, and this will be the first read for the comprehensive district plan, which is item 10B, and then the school sites will be 10C. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion?
Does the policy subcommittee have any comments on these?
All of these were posted where the public could see them ahead of time, correct?
That is correct.
And they will stay up for public review until we have our second read in action?
Yes, and that will
Thank
come
you.
on the 26th, correct.
Thank you.
Okay, hearing no more discussion for item B, we'll move on to item C, first read comprehensive school safety plan 25-26 school year for Vasquez High School, High Desert School, and Meadow Lark School. Dr. Sahakian, you know you already commented on it. Is there anything you need to add?
No additions. Thank you, Ms. Taxon.
Thank you. Any discussion for item C? Hearing none, moving on to 10D, first read SARC report, Vasquez High School, High Desert School, Meadow Lark School. Dr. Sahakian?
Thank you. So the school accountability report card provides key information for each individual school sites that are listed and attached there for our 3 sites. These reports include school demographics, student achievement, school conditions and resources, which includes facilities, of course. It also includes information about family engagement and funding for each school site. And this is a first read.
Thank you. Discussion? Hearing none, we will move on. 11A, approval proposed collective bargaining agreement, AB 1200. I'll move it in. Can I get a second?
All right, with the proposed collective bargaining agreement with CSEA, as Ms. Erdrich outlined earlier, for the 25-26 school year, we are required to submit an AB 1200 form, which outlines the fiscal impact for the 25-26 school year as far as the changes in compensation. This AB 1200 report is required and is submitted to LACO, Los Angeles County Office of Education.
Thank you. Discussion? Hearing none, call for question.
Mask on aye.
Falls Graph, aye.
Jesus, aye.
Mays, aye.
Brianna Taxoni, aye. 11B, CSEA, classified, confidential classified, and classified management staff salary schedules. I'll move it in. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Dr. Sahakian?
With the proposed 3% on-schedule increase for our classified staff for the 25-26 school year, we've amended the classified salary schedule as you see listed on your screen, which reflects the changes as attached for classified salary, classified confidential, classified unrepresented, and classified management. Thank you.
Thank you. Discussion? Hearing none, call for question. All those in favor?
Mask on aye.
Falls Graph, aye.
Jesus, aye.
Mays, aye.
Brianna Taxoni, aye. 11C, approval invoice Acellus Educational Services LLC not to exceed $40,290. I'll move it in. Can I get a second?
Thank you. So with the influx of students and students requesting virtual instruction, we have a need to purchase additional licenses through Acellus. This amount of $40,290 won't be encumbered by general funds. It will be coming out of our student support discretionary block grant if approved.
Thank you. Discussion? Hearing none, call for question. All those in favor?
Klaus, aye.
Mask on aye.
Falls Graph, aye.
Jesus, aye.
Mays, aye.
Brianna Taxoni, aye. D, informational 2025-26, notice of second quarter results of site visits, reviews, and uniform complaint data. Dr. Sahakian.
Thank you. So the Williams inspection report for second quarter covers up until January 31st. And there were 0 findings in the areas of instructional materials, facilities, and teacher vacancies or misassignments.
Thank you. Discussion? Hearing none, we will move on. E, official 2026 Delegate Assembly Ballot Region 22. I'll move it in.
I'll second.
All right. The first attachment that you see on the agenda provides responses given by each candidate for Delegate Assembly Region 22. The second attachment is the actual ballot for Delegate Assembly Region 22 with 3 board members listed for the 3 vacancies. The delegates represent Region 22 of CSBA, which covers a 2-year term beginning April of 26. Thank you.
Okay, so there's 3 board members for 3 seats, so there's no voting. We're just basically voting to rubber stamp this ballot, right?
Essentially.
Awesome. Is there any discussion? All right, call for question. All those in favor?
Klaus, aye.
Mask on aye.
Falls Graph, aye.
Jesus, aye.
Mays, aye.
Brianna Taxoni, aye. Board comments. Lester?
You get to go first. I don't have a ton of comments, but again, every time we get to sit in these meetings and we get to see all the wonderful things going on here, it always does make you proud to be part of this school district and associated with all the great employees that work here. Especially happy that we're going to CME this year. So I remember when my own kids got to go to CME for Catalina. What a great trip that was, and how much it benefited them. So super thrilled to see us doing that. It'll be a great experience for all of them that they'll remember forever.
I just want to thank everybody for coming and thank the district staff for all the hard work they do and dedication. It's late. You guys start early. Thank you. I appreciate all your work.
Again, I'm glad the kids are going to Catalina. As a past staff member of Camp Fox, I lived there for 3 summers, and it's a great facility. They'll have a great time. Also, congratulations to your girls' JV soccer team. That's awesome. Way to go. Boys basketball and girls soccer at Vasquez, congratulations and keep up the good work, and let's bring home the titles.
I am very excited about everything going on in our district. Every time we come here and hear reports from Autumn, your reports are so thorough and so informative, and I try to write stuff down and then I just start listening and I forget, but you do a fantastic job of keeping us informed of what's going on in the daily life of our schools. So thank you for that. Very exciting things going on for all of our kids. And since you guys talked about Catalina and Simi, I actually got to go in 6th grade with Mr. Rowland's class. And then I got to go as a parent with my oldest when he was in 6th grade. So much nostalgia, not much had changed. And it was like I was a kid again. Those kids that are going are so incredibly lucky. And I do know that there's other camps that go, so for kids that didn't get to go, look into those. My daughter's going to Catalina over spring break for a camp like that, and she's just a year older than you. So look into it if you want to go. For all those kids that didn't get to go, it is a blast, so look that up. Thank you to our staff for all that you do, and enjoy your 3-day weekend. Thank you, presidents, for having birthdays for us to celebrate. What? Yeah. Did I say 3 days? I have 4 days off. I know everybody else has 4 days off. I'm not mistaking my 4-day weekend for a 3-day weekend. So yes, looking forward to that. I hope everybody gets some much needed rest. And then we'll go ahead and circle back to Ken. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I have a message that I want to give tonight. It's very personal, and it will fit in with the comments we had about the We Care program. We are on camera, and I think it's going into Europe and everywhere. As many of you know, my daughter Tammy passed away about a year and a quarter ago, and the Cornelia DeLange Foundation, which is the genetic condition she had, which is a very rare condition. 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 50,000 live births have this condition. It often goes unidentified. It goes from very severe with children that live a couple days to where 30s and 40s are basically unheard of. Cognitive problems, health problems, just about every problem. And a lot of these kids, as a parent, you're looking at, my child is always in the lowest percentile, and it can be very, very frustrating. And I have been talking on a channel and a forum about what it's like to lose a child. There's a couple things going to go on here, but this is a prime example of what a town can do for one person. Now, many of you knew Tammy as someone that would be in the hallway, you would walk by her, you would wave at her. She was the kid that never left the elementary school. When she got into the high school, she was well received there, but she never said a word in her life, and she was using a device for everything except talking, which she was supposed to use. And through that device and through music, she identified some people out in the world, and those people ended up having a huge impact, and her legacy in that area is still out there. It's still growing. So the Cornelia DeLange Foundation contacted me and asked me to give the message, and it went out literally all over the world. It's been translated. So let's have a look at a part of Tammy's life that you may not know about. Thank you. So, what I want to tell you is that anyone that met Tammy and smiled at her, anyone that spent time trying to get her to write her name, the interesting part about those guitars is she signed every one. And she was never supposed to be able to do any of that kind of stuff. And she would actually bring me artists on her device, and I would track those people down. Don't ever underestimate my ability to find things out, but we would find them, and there were no strings attached to these guitars, and she's had her guitars in protest songs that were #1 on the charts in Europe. There's just so many people out there that did all kinds of things for her. And Brianna, I'm going to call you out here because when you were first the president, you know, we can talk about numbers and law and all that kind of thing, but Brianna was about let's destigmatize mental health. Imagine if there was the stigma of if you go to the dentist, there's something very wrong with you, or if you go to the doctor, or if you seek any kind of care. So for some reason, mental health care in schools starts at a 5150 call in an ambulance. And we have come so far. And I want you to know that her priority think about that. We're going to destigmatize mental health. I appreciated it when you did it, but think about the lowest common denominator that means. Like, we're just going to get better about not saying people are crazy or making fun of people or bullying people. And I think now that has morphed down to where we're about customer service and we're about being good to the individual. I mean, I've read the Civility Statement 100 times, and it is just now starting to be, our kids are safe. When it comes to, Elizabeth, your programs, you know, we get these broad cuts where oh no, we're not going to do that because somebody voted different or somebody changed it. And what bothered me about that is it didn't take into account what us, not the region, not what the score says, not what the governor said. It didn't take into account what we were doing for individual people. And so when we brought the news reporter in here, Sophia, thank you for writing what you wrote. That was no accident. The fact that you've got a professional here that lobbies for children throughout the region, that was no accident. The letters that were written that had the links to what we were saying in the meetings, this wasn't some cookie cutter thing where we joined some lawsuit, some class action lawsuit somewhere to hope that somebody, you know, somebody with a donkey or an elephant, the right number of those people would line up and we wouldn't lose our programs. Because I will tell you something, this message, right now, I wish you could see the stuff that's on here. There's people listening to what I'm saying that know me, that know Tammy. But think about, I want you to take Tammy out of the situation. There are thousands of people out there who know her. She was made by you all here. Think about that. Really think about that. So I hear mental health characterized, it's always this bummer thing. It's always, oh gosh, you know, we need to do that, we need to do that. Can you just look at somebody and smile and try to find out who they are and what they are and what it means? We've done a good job here. These programs are measurable. They're as important as anything else. They're as important as sports, they're as important as academics, because if you don't feel safe in the classroom and you don't feel respected, if the lowest functioning person in our school district cannot be safe, no one else is safe. Brianna, thank you for, I guess they're called kindness. I mean, I've called her Miss Beauty Queen or Beauty Contest or Miss Congeniality. And, you know, the Hallmark card of the district. You are all those things. And if you weren't, we wouldn't be who we are. Tammy looks down on people. I'll tell you what, I don't want to go Jesus on you, but I'm going to get a lawyer. I think that if Tammy, when you go, because it's going to be your time, only I'm going to live forever, much to your dismay. Excuse me, I'm talking now, thank you. Dodger Stadium will not fill with mourners the day I die, I guarantee you that. But I would much rather have Tammy go, that's my principal, that's my superintendent, that's my friend. That is the person who was never my principal, but who said the good words at my memorial service. So what happened here is my grandfather had a 2-story outhouse in front of his beer joint. We are cheapest tent revival kind that you can possibly think of. So what I did, do not dry your tears with district tissues. That costs us money and takes away from our programs. Anyway, so I got a hold of Bonnie Royster, who is the executive director of the Cornelia DeLange Foundation, International Cornelia DeLange Foundation. And I kind of said that he would be sending a letter to her before I told him. And then he sent a letter, and read whatever you want now, please.
Well, I have a response from Ms. Bonnie Royster, so I'd like to read her response.
Your humbleness just irritates me sometimes, but go ahead.
You're
read
welcome.
whatever you want.
So the director of the CDLS Foundation, Ms. Bonnie Royster, she responded back to me. Dear Dr. Sahakian, thank you so much for taking the time to share this beautiful message. Your words truly touch me. One of the core pillars of the CDLS Foundation's work is raising awareness, not through commercials or polished campaigns, but through the authentic life-to-life connections that individuals with CDLS and their families create within their own communities. Reading your note and hearing how Tammy's story has deepened empathy, compassion, and inclusion within your schools felt like a profound mission accomplished moment for all of us who care deeply about this work. I'm also incredibly proud of Ken and the way he continues to honor Tammy's life by encouraging and educating others through his own grief. His willingness to share openly is both courageous and generous, and he stands as a shining example of what it means to be an ambassador of the CDLS community. We equally salute him. I recently watched one of his Instagram reels honoring Tammy, and it moved me to tears. It so beautifully reflects the love, dignity, and humanity you described in your message. I'm including it here simply because it captures that same spirit you mentioned so powerfully, and she listed the Instagram reel URL. Tammy's life clearly continues to bring people together in love, understanding, and shared humanity, and there's no greater legacy than that. On behalf of the CDLS Foundation, thank you for recognizing and honoring her impact so thoughtfully. Please extend my warm appreciation to your staff for embracing Ken and making a difference in his family's life. With my deepest gratitude, Ms. Bonnie Royster, Executive Director, CDLS Foundation.
So the difference between Eric and I, he didn't have to pay her to say the good things about him. So guys, in all reality, this is very difficult for me. But in all reality, I'm just the dad, and I was so reactive to, if my kid wasn't safe, I can't be me if my kid's not safe. I want you all to understand that message, even right now, is going out all over the world. It's being translated, and it's going out to people who have lost kids and who are in the deepest grief and don't know how to comfort themselves. And this happened because of all of you people. Let that soak in. I think I'm pretty good at taking problems out of the way, the funding things, getting the newspaper in here when it's right, and playing those games. But this all starts with being decent and kind to one person. Those of you that went to Tammy's memorial know that one of the artists that she found actually played there. Was anybody there and remembers that? Unfortunately, let's kick the picture. I'm going to ask for a moment of silence because the gentleman that played there actually passed away about 3 weeks ago in an accident. There is Tim Lohman, a champion in Tammy's life. Tim leaves a young wife and a 3-year-old child. And to you people, thank you for sharing Tim with the world. He's an incredible person. And so many people advocated for Tammy. You all will be advocated for when the time comes. So everybody, thank you so very much for all the support you've given Tammy and her family. Oh, one more thing. This system that you've got now, this upgrade to the system, is awesome on television or on the computer. The cameras are so much clearer. People can navigate and move in and all that. Don't zoom in on me so much. I have a problem with that at my age. Also, the new agenda management system, I like it a lot better. So I'll close with that. Loop again if you need to. Thanks.
Ken, I just wanted to say something about Tammy. I remember when you first used to bring her over to the house, and not having had a lot of experience with children, especially in that way, you introduced her to me and said that have you ever met somebody in your life that was incapable of sin? And it was probably the most profound thing that I think a concept that I'd ever thought of, and it made her relevant in such a way that I almost felt inadequate being around her, because I truly had never yet met somebody incapable of sin until I had met her. And I remember that constantly.
Your son was very kind to her, both of them, especially Owen.
I just want to say, Ken, that was beautifully done. Thank you for sharing.
Yes, it was. I concur.
I concur, Ken. I really appreciate you sharing. I appreciate your vulnerability. I appreciate that you have shared so much of Tammy with us, and then your journey after her passing with us, and being so vulnerable and being able to open up and really teach us a little bit of what it's like to be in your shoes, and for us to be able to watch you fight for her and her remembrance and keep her alive in all of us. And I just really, really appreciate that you bring that to not only to our board meetings, to our district, to our community, and to all of our lives. So thank you very much.
I would ask each of you, especially the people that have had to endure me up here, and the people who are close to me, and the people who understand how my mind works, imagine how important each individual act of kindness, hope, the therapist just banging away knowing that it would never happen, and it still did. Imagine how empty I would be without each
Thank you, Ken. Moving on to 13, calendar, we have a board meeting February 26th, March 12th, and March 26th. Any discussion on those dates?
26th I will not be here.
Okay. Is everybody else planned to be in attendance? So we'll have a quorum.
I may have conflict as well. I'll let you know.
You got to be here.
I'll be.
14, future agenda items. We have one item up for our future agenda, and that's subcommittee assignments, where we'll discuss the possibility of reassigning our subcommittees. Does anybody else have anything to add to future agenda items? Hearing none, we'll move on to adjournment. It's recommended the regular meeting of February 12th adjourn at 9:12 p.m. I'll move. Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? Hearing none, call for question. All those in favor?
Mask on eye.
Paul Giraffe, aye.
Mays, aye.
Brianna Taxoni, aye. We are adjourned. Thank you.